Move, baby. Move, baby. Oh, hi guys. Good morning, good morning. Come on up if you want to, baby. Oh, yes, she's part of what I'm going to talk about today. Hope you all are doing well. Hope everything's going good for you, and welcome, welcome. And please like and subscribe if you like my channel or my videos. Please, it helps this single mom. Every little bit helps, right? Anyway, let's get right into it. This is about the lack of touch and what it can do to, no baby, stay with mama. She just, all of a sudden now she wants to leave, whereas before she couldn't stay long enough. It's about lack of touch and what it can do to us humans. And even pets too, for that matter. But concerning us humans, lack of touch can be a very serious thing. Because, well, first of all, I'm doing this because of what happened with me last night. Just like I said, I'm honest with you guys. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to express what I'm going through or what I'm feeling, because I know that there are tons of others who are doing the same thing or feeling the same thing. So, yeah. It's been proven that lack of any touch, you know, a hug, a kiss, holding hands, when you do that, you get a dose of serotonin and dopamine, which is the feel-good hormones. And when you never have that, it can become actually serious. It can make you feel depressed. It can increase feelings of loneliness. It can increase feelings of depression, because we are intended to feel that. We're actually intended to feel that. Like I say, we're supposed to be like a pack of dogs where we're all together helping each other, staying with each other, you know, doing everything together. Well, that's not the case. You know, everybody lives their own lives and a lot of people are left alone. And you can be in a relationship and still feel that kind of loneliness, feel that kind of lack of touch. If you're living with a significant other and maybe you just have nothing between you anymore, no hugs, no kisses, no nothing, no intimacy at all, it can still cause the same thing even though you're living with somebody. So yeah, I just wanted to hit on that because last night I had what I call that momentary, it happens every once in a while. I was lying in bed watching TV, and all of a sudden I just got such this, I don't know how to explain it. I'm sure those of you that have experienced it know what I'm talking about. I just thought, oh God, it'd be so nice to have a hug, a warm, romantic, just hug, nothing else, just a nice hug. Someone to lean the shoulder, you know, lean on their shoulder and just be there, just have that human touch. Because it's much more important than people realize, and there's a lot of people out there who are depressed, or they're just sad, or they're just feeling intense loneliness simply because lack of touch. And it doesn't have to be romantic. It can be, you know, you give your child a hug, you give a friend a hug, you know, you give just anybody a hug can still produce that. Not as much as the romantic type of hugs and touch. It still produces it when you hug your kids or grandkids or friends or whatever, or a relative, you know, it still produces a little bit, but not the way it does with a romantic type of hug or holding hands or a kiss, you know. It's definitely not the same feeling, obviously. You know the difference between that. But yeah, I brought it up because it was strange how it hit me last night. It was just so weird. I looked over to my right, because I sleep on the left side of the bed. So, well, when you're looking at the bed from the foot, I'm sleeping on the right side. But when I'm laying in it, it's the left side. Anyway, I looked to the right and I thought, be so nice to just have somebody to snuggle up with right now and just touch them, hold them, have their arm around me. Just that snuggy comfort feeling that you can get from that kind of touch. I brought this up in a video a long time ago about there's these orphanages in Russia where they have these beautiful, healthy babies and young children and children of all ages in these orphanages that are, you know, healthy kids, but the longer they stayed there, these children actually, and the orphanages were so busy. I don't even know if it's still continuing, but it's a story that I read. You can look it up, Google it. But the orphanages were so busy that the workers had no time to give them any affection whatsoever, none. It was just feed, clean, change diapers, that type of thing. Leave them in their cribs, leave them in their rooms. No affection, no human interaction, nothing. Well, these children just started dying, not from any illness or disease, but literally from lack of touch, lack of interaction, lack of human closeness. These children died. It was a very sad article to read, and I thought those poor babies, those poor children, just needing nothing more than to be loved and to be touched and to feel that comfort of a human being close to them, those poor children died. And it was heartbreaking to read that, but it really made me realize how important touch is, how much we need that. It's a sense of comfort beyond anything, to especially the romantic touch. Like I said, yes, you can get it from others, your friends, your family, what have you, but it's not the same. It's simply not the same. And this, of course, doesn't apply to those of you, again, I will say, to those of you that are 100% happy living alone. You don't need any humans around you. There are lots of people like that. I don't ever want to become one of those people. I mean, I want to be happy. I mean, I'm content living alone because I know there's a lot of pluses to it. But I don't ever want to be one of those people who never ever crave a little bit of a human touch, you know, that romance touch. I don't ever want to be that, even though it would make life a lot easier. And I know there are a lot of you out there who don't. You don't crave any kind of romantic human touch at all. You're fine with just friends and family and work associates, whatever. You're fine with that. I am too on a regular basis. On the whole, I'm okay. But I'm human, and like I said, I'm here to be honest with what I go through. My ups and downs, my good times, my bad times. And last night was just one of those. It was one of those guys to where I thought, oh my gosh, how nice it would be to just feel that rush, and I remember it when I was married, even though I had a rough marriage. I mean, I'm not going to sit here and lie and say there was never any good times. No. And I remember my husband coming home from work, because I was a stay-at-home mom for 22 years raising 5 children. And I remember him coming home from work, and you get that hug right away, and that, you know, that kiss, and, you know, you just, that hug. And that feeling of when that person comes home and you, or you just see them and you get that feeling of, oh, it was just a comfort feeling. I admit I miss that. I admit I miss that, and just throughout the day, you know, throughout the day, a hug, a touch, somebody just sitting next to you, that type of touch, actual touch, where you're sitting next to somebody and you're leaning against them, or you have your hand on their leg or theirs on yours, you know, and you maybe lean over, give a quick kiss, what have you. That sort of stuff is very vital to good mental and physical health for those of us that actually want that and actually love that. Because like I said, this doesn't apply to those that are just thrilled to death living alone. Which I understand. I mean, some people have been through some pretty hectic relationships and they are done. I personally, I'm done looking. I've been through a lot when it comes to relationships with marriage and dating. I'm done looking. However, I definitely would not turn away the chance of meeting a wonderful man that could enter my life. But that would be the whole thing. He's got to be wonderful. But back to what I'm talking about is the seriousness of it. So if you're out there right now and you're feeling like, oh gosh, I just want somebody to hug me. I just want somebody to kiss me. I just want somebody to sit next to, somebody to lie next to in bed. I'm not talking about sex and all of that passion stuff. I'm talking about simple touch. Just the comfort of that touch, that feeling of, oh, because your energies do affect one another. Energy, we all emit energy. All of us do. So do animals. And speaking of animals, if you have a dog or a cat, you can also get that little bit of dopamine and serotonin just from hugging your dog, your cat. It's got to be an animal you can actually hug. You can't hug a fish or a bird this size, but you know what I'm talking about. I do that. Sometimes when I'm feeling that need for just touch, I will get one of my dogs and I will just hold it and hug it and kiss it and love it. And sometimes if we're lying in bed and they're right next to me, both of them are right next to me, I put my arms around them. Like, they're so small when they curl up that they fit one here, one here. And I'll put my arm around them, the other one like that, just to feel the warmth, the energy, the touch of that living being. And it actually helps, guys. It helps a lot. And there are days I just pick up one of them and I'm telling you, I just hug it and kiss it and hold it and feel its warmth, and it feels so good, and it actually helps. I can feel the difference in my brain when I do that because of that little bit of serotonin and dopamine. Because like I said, the highest amount you get of that is through the romantic touch. And yeah, I'm human. I miss that occasionally. I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to say that I miss that. There are women out there who they'll tell you they just love being alone and never being around a man or woman, whatever you are, if you're gay or straight, and they just love not being around somebody. And if that's really true, well, good for them. But I think a lot of people project that they're just 100% happy without any human love or whatever in their life. And I'm sure, I don't know, I guess there are some, but it's hard to believe that somebody doesn't want some kind of love, romantic love occasionally. Maybe not all the time, but just sometimes. But if you are one of those who you're completely fine without any romantic interaction, well, good for you, and I'm glad for you, and this video would definitely not be for you. I'm talking about people who still would like to have a little touch, a little warmth, a little coziness of that human being next to you. I do. I miss it now and then. Not all the time, no. But when it does strike, it's very powerful. Those of you that do experience this, you know what I'm talking about. It's very powerful when that feeling strikes and you're thinking, oh gosh, I just wish someone's arms were around me. I just wish for that little kiss. I'm not talking a make-out session, every time. I'm talking just that little peck kiss, that you get when you're with somebody. You're maybe passing each other in the hall or you're in the kitchen and just a little kiss, it gives that rush. And when you're lacking in that every single day, and that's particularly for people who live alone, it can affect you. So if you are being affected that way, don't think you're crazy. Don't think you're just this weak, whatever human being who can't handle life. No, we're human. And we are meant to have some kind of interaction. So for those of you living alone particularly, and you're not, and you know, you can live with somebody and still feel completely alone and lacking in touch, and that can be even worse than living alone, because that person is right there in the household and they're giving you nothing. They're not giving you a touch, a holding hand, a hug, a kiss, a sitting next to, nothing. They're giving you nothing. That can be worse, because then you crave it so severely. Like an alcoholic who's not drinking anymore and there's a bottle of booze right in front of him. It's that kind of thing. So that can be much worse. But just in general, people lacking in that human touch, and even pet touch. If you don't have a pet, a dog or a cat, and you're living alone, get one, because I'm telling you, it can make a huge difference. There are times when that feeling has hit me so strong that I feel like I can't get through that moment, because I just want to feel something. And I will really hug my dogs, and it does help. So think about that if you're living alone and you don't have a pet. It's got to be a pet you can hug too. And I also read an article that said, if you're feeling that way, even hugging yourself. Did you know that? Even hugging yourself tight can give this, your brain doesn't know that it, how can I put it? It said something about how the brain doesn't know if it's from you or from someone else when the body feels the hug, the tight, tight hug. So you hug yourself tight. You hug yourself tight. And maybe even rock yourself back and forth just to get that feeling. They've said, I've done that. Like I said, I'm not embarrassed or ashamed to talk about what I go through in life, because life throws a lot of stuff at us, and we all need ways and thoughts of dealing with it. So that's what I do, guys. I'll occasionally hug myself. Yeah. And especially my dogs. I'm telling you, a pet can make a difference. So anyway, I just wanted to talk about this. I wish I could talk longer, but my camera just at 18 minutes and seconds, it just stops. So I'm almost there. So you guys take care. And if you're feeling that need for touch, human closeness, there's nothing wrong with you. It's what we're supposed to have, and unfortunately, it doesn't always work out that way for all of us. So we've got to make do with the best way that we can. So anyway, guys, take care and hug yourself if you need to. It's okay. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.